from True Legal Media. We are an online magazine. What we do basically is identify women who are in practice in different fields, whatever that they're doing, that they're passionate about. Basically, that focuses on women and children. And what we do is we look or we request stories, inspiring stories, so that we can motivate the women, we can motivate our readers whom we feel they're coming from various backgrounds, from various fields. And the reason why we actually approach you, Doctor, is we are looking for your inspiring story, which we believe it's going to inspire another woman, another youth, someone, someday, so that they've got somebody to look up to, so that they're not hopeless, they're not they don't have to lose hope. And as a result, I'm going to request you to introduce yourself to our readers.
I'm Dr. Kim Lewis. I work as a general practitioner at Brampton Family Practice in Claremont. But my practice has a lot of women and children in it. I do women's care and their preventative checkups. And because women are so passionate about their children, I look after their children too. But I don't only think of myself as a doctor. I'm also wife to Alan. I'm mother to Simon, who's 13, and Miriam, who's 11. I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend.
Wow, that's wonderful. You seem to be almost everything and everybody. Thank you so for that, Doctor. I'm just going to ask, where did you study, and have you always wanted to be a doctor?
I studied at the University of Cape Town. I think I was a teenager when I got the idea to be a doctor. And then I had to pray very hard that I'd get into medical school and work very hard to get the marks.
That's lovely, Doctor. What motivated you to be a doctor? Particularly with regards to being passionate with women and children. Why do you choose to be in that field?
You know, when I chose medicine, I chose it because I saw it as an opportunity to be challenged mentally in making diagnosis and treating, but also to care for those in the community. I then fell into women's work by running a women's clinic, quite accidentally. But you know, as time goes by, you actually realize that women need to feel safe and comfortable in a space in order to really bring their healthcare needs to their doctors. And that is what I've tried to create, is that space for them. And the more I've created that space, the more passionate I've actually become about working with women. When you work with women, and you work with pregnant women, they naturally bring their children to you. Their children are precious to them, children are precious to me. And so I have incorporated children into my practice. Children also here, they want to feel safe, they want to feel respected. I have a philosophy that at the end of every consultation with my children, I have a choice of sweets for them to choose, because they don't have the choice to be sick. They don't have the choice to be here. They don't have the choice to be examined, but they can finish the consultation with a choice of sweets.
That's so amazing, Doctor. That's really wonderful. You really touch at the heart, and you really make sure you give them a sense of security that they are free to come to you. Because I understand health issues are, at some point or somehow they happen to be personal issues. Unless and until you are comfortable, you will never be able to open up to a doctor. Can I just know, Doctor, according to professional profile, you're a general practitioner. What or how are you different from other doctors?
The way I see my role as a doctor is that I walk through life with my patients. As a general practitioner, I have a very unique perspective on patients. I'm often treating mothers and grannies and daughters within the same family. So I understand from where they come from. There are times I'll say, yeah, your cousin had mums last week. Now this week, that's why you've got mums. whereas someone who doesn't know the family won't know as much as that. It makes them comfortable to come to me for their routine screens, and we can walk together when they've got chronic diseases like diabetes and high blood pressure, and face whatever big issues come up in time. Because I have built this relationship with patients, I'm often liaising between specialists and my patients, because they can feel a bit overwhelmed when major disease hits them, and I can offer explanations, counseling, encouragement and support.
Certainly. I think that's why it is also easy to build relationship, because it's more of like knowing the mother, you know the auntie, you know the grandchildren, you know almost the cousin, and it's like you know the whole family cycle, and that way it makes your job easy. I think that also answers the question as to what your job entails. Do you think there is anything that you might want to add to that?
I think the only thing I want to add to that is that for me, building that relationship means women are comfortable to come to me for packs, which do save lives. They are comfortable to me to come, they've got a breast lump or they're worried about something. I always say, I don't work in an emergency unit. The chances of me saving lives from a major event like a heart attack or allergy is low. But if I can do a regular pap on a lady, check her cholesterol and check her sugar, there are going to be a lot of women whose lives I save, and she and I won't even realize that I did it.
That's true. That's awesome, doctor. Did you face any challenges pursuing medicine as a female? Since the field back then, I know it was probably regarded as or associated with more to males field. Did you have any challenges with regards to that?
You know, I can remember. You might as well kiss your career in Cape Town goodbye.
That's quite inspiring indeed. Being able to approach a principal, and I'm sure you felt very good after having managed to convince him that you are able, despite you not being a mayor, and all the same, standing up to challenges that this is the field that I chose. It is very, very inspiring indeed for me.
I want to add to that. I actually thank my headmistress for doing that, because medicine is a long study period, and it's hard work and it's tiring. And during that time, I can remember thinking, I am not going to let her be right. I am going to qualify as a doctor, and so I give her credit for my career.
That's amazing. That's inspiring, Doctor. So far from the experience you've gathered, do you think there are any similarities in the field with regards to women and children from maybe the African continent and Europe? Do you think there are any similarities in the health challenges that they experience?
I think that's a very good question. And I've thought about that quite a bit. And I think one of the core issues that is worldwide is that women and children are often viewed as possessions and objects to fulfill a purpose or a desire. And this leaves them open to physical, sexual, emotional, financial abuse. In my experience, teenage pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, drug and alcohol abuse knows no social boundaries. And neither have I found a social strata or a country where I can see women who consistently feel that they have value not for what they can give men or can satisfy men, but for who they are.
With regards to said challenges, in your opinion, would you advise a modern government, what would you advise basically a modern African government to do to alleviate such challenges that you've identified? What would you suggest or propose to any, for instance, any African country?
Well, I think I would propose to any country, not only African countries.
Yeah.
First of all, that the politicians will realize that you actually have to walk the walk, not talk the talk. You have to show that you respect women for who they are. And that includes also respecting the traditional roles of women. A housewife is no better or worse than a doctor. She's bringing up the future. She's molding people and personalities for the future. And if her role is not respected, we're not going to have women who feel proud of being women. And in the same way, women offer a different perspective in the business world and in the professional world. And if you're not open to that different perspective, you actually cannot be open to a whole new range of possibilities.
That's true. That's true. There was one writer actually who wrote that women usually do most of the job. Unfortunately, it's not economically valued, and as a result, it's seen as if it's something which does not matter at all. Maybe from what we've discussed so far, apart from your principal, who else do you think touched your life or influenced you or gave an inspiration in your professional and personal life?
I've had a lot of people who inspired me. My own GP, my own family GP, actually inspired me to be a doctor. I thought he was wonderful the way he could listen and then sort us out and care for us. He was a big reason why I became a doctor.
Amazing. Amazing indeed. I'm sure you might have made decisions along the way, some which were tough and some which were probably easy to do. Which important decisions have you ever done with regards to personal or professional life?
One decision I made was I returned from England, where I had been working after I qualified. It wasn't an easy decision to make, but I realized while I was in England that I actually studied to treat my community, not another's community. And I returned here to South Africa to treat my people. And then later I left a practice where I had been for many years to go on my own. It was a big risk, but what it has allowed me to do is have the freedom to practice medicine the way I want to and balance my family life the way I want to, which has made me feel more fulfilled as a doctor and as a mother.
That's so awesome. That was indeed very, very selfless of you, having people at heart. And for me, it's actually a huge decision that you took to actually have the community at heart. And I'm sure you'd have been paid well somewhere else, but you decided to come back to South Africa. And that to me, it actually takes me to the core values of your own values or your own mission. Maybe you can just add which is most important in your life, your mission, your core values, and profit or all of the above, which one would you value more?
My most important is my core values. I need to be true to myself and true to my God.
That's amazing, Doctor. With the month of October being a breast cancer awareness month nationally, how does your practice reach out to the women and young girls who are directly and indirectly affected?
We have a practice website and we publish regularly on the website. So this month we have made them aware in the website and in our newsletter that it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We have pamphlets in the waiting room to remind them. But running a women's health clinic like I am here, around, not just in October, but all year round. And then while women are diagnosed with breast cancer, I'm there to walk with them and to support them through that difficult, challenging time in their life.
So what would you advise young girls who would be interested to join you in your field? What would your word of advice to them?
You know, my advice is don't do medicine if it's not your passion. If you want to make money, become an actuary or an accountant. But if you are interested in looking after people, in caring for them, and the challenge of medicine, which is diagnosing and finding a treatment, and that will make you happy, then you will be happy, you will be satisfied, you will be fulfilled. Money doesn't buy you.
What is honest advice? That's so reasonable. That's very, very honest of you. And so what is your definition of perfect success and how do you think you've achieved in your profession?
My definition of perfect success is being able to fulfill the needs of your family and yourself, spiritually, physically, financially, and emotionally. If they're not in balance, you won't feel satisfied, and you can't be considered a success. But that's quite a high goal. So I would have to say that I'm a work in progress.
Certainly getting there. Doctor, I heard you mention that you're married. So how do you balance your family life and your work life?
That can be such a challenge. I believe my primary responsibility is towards my husband and my children, whom I chose to have and who need me. But there are times when the needs of my patients are very immediate. I'm very fortunate because my husband Alan and my mom are there to come in and help if I need it. I'm fortunate I can arrange my hours, so I generally leave in time to pick up my kids after school or after extramurals. Most professional women have this dichotomy and this challenge, because there is another balance, and that is also ensuring that I have enough time to replenish myself so that I don't suffer from burnout.
That's really, really remarkable indeed. And that's really remarkable and that's wonderful. It's a good thing to actually have a family support as well, support system close by to help you, to assist you, because at the end of the day, even in the profession itself, for you to be strong, to be effective, even continue being passionate and feel encouraged, it is the people around you that to generally help to work with you. Just in our final word, what would be a word of advice to men on how to communicate and relate with women in order to improve the value of women in society?
You know, my biggest feeling is that we all need to start to see that the value of a person lies in their humanity. whether they're men or women, whatever color they are, whether they're children or old people. And if each person can treat another with that basic honoring of their dignity.
And sharing us your story, and we hope this is going to definitely